Good morning, everyone. This is for the BD owners and WordPress owners that have asked for this feature. Basically, it's a feature of a zoom in effect when you're hovering or clicking on an image. Here you can see how it works, but instead of doing what Amazon is doing here, which is basically creating another copy of the image next to it, we would actually be zooming in on this area. Mainly, this is asked for by the BD owners to actually use the e-commerce version of the plugins that we have because they sell like that. In that case, they sell clothes. They sell things that might need or require this zooming in effect. Also, this is for the BD developers that are studying with me, so you can see in how many lines you can do it and compare it to the ones that you created so far. So it's very simple. What we're going to be doing on the video is offering the ability to hover over the image and then it zooms in automatically, and the mouse position sets in which area of the image we're going to be zooming in. That's one. And the other challenge, if you recall, was if I clicked and hold, I would zoom in on that specific place. Okay. We're going to add an additional, let's say, parameter here, another variable, which is how much zoom we want to add. And this is why I added this image, which is around 6,000 by 3,500 pixels. So it's very big, the image. If I right click on it, open image in a new page, it's super huge. You can see if I click here using Google Chrome, it zooms in like this. What happens if I don't actually want that behavior? I want to control that where I'm going to be zooming in. So first, we need to minimize how much um, widgets we touch, where we customizing everything. Again, remember, we need to future proof the sites for the long run. You do not want to be maintaining this, and nor does the owner of the site need to be sending emails about a repeating issue, which basically just makes you look bad. Okay. Because if you can't find the actual permanent solution in the beginning, or at least tackling in a certain way, then the, there's an issue there. Okay, so let's tackle this. I created a job here, simple job. You can see that it's a single post. It's a type of post that only creates a single image. There's a challenge for the ones that use the gallery, like photo albums, classified products. But here you can see, the description, information, pum, 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 and then we go here. That's it. That's it. Okay. So as the challenge went by, everybody noticed that we do need to change. Let's look at the code here. We right click, we click inspect, and you see that this is an image. We need to turn this image into another element that uses the background that it has as the image size. So we're going to go to jobs, and I'm going to explain what I just said there. Okay. Let's give it a second. There we go. So on job listing, at least in this case, a job listing, we've got a detail page, design, we click go, and we just got to look for the image tag, okay, the image element somewhere here. And there it is. We need to change this to another element that replaces the same space, but it uses background image because the background image CSS properties have, let's say, they're more powerful than just this typical image element. So in regards to playing around with them. So we're going to change this to a div. Okay. Let's put an ID to it because it's we're going to be using the image zoom effects on this one. Okay. And then we just maintain, let me see if it has classes. Yep. We just maintain the same classes. We maintain everything except that because it's a div, we don't need the alt alternative title, not even the source. We don't need any of this, okay? We do need, however, to keep the image here somewhere. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna put an image, background image here. Okay, you see background image, and then it's a URL, and then we do this, and that's where we call this whole block of code here. Then we put the single quote here, close that baby there, and let me just double check. Yep, we're done. Okay, because it's a div, we don't need that other backslash there, and we're done. Okay, we're done. Before I save this, I need to know what the width and height of the original image was. So I'm gonna right click, inspect, and if we hover here, you can see in the actual page, there's like a little tooltip that says image.center block, and then it says 750 by 421. Let's round that up to 420. So 750 by 420. Okay, that's very important to know there. Let's save this here. This is all the only thing that we needed to do here, at least for now. I'm gonna leave this tab, browser tab open, and we're gonna create a new one. And we're gonna call it image zoom. Oh my. Okay, so first we gotta style that image. Remember that we put an ID of image zoom to it. And we need to style it. And the width, remember it was 710, 720. Nice. Amnesia.com. That's what I just got. 750 by 420. So 750 by 420. Okay? Because it's the background image, we don't want the background to repeat itself in case it was smaller than that specific size. So we want the background image to actually cover the whole area. And just in case, because I've seen issues with a couple of browsers and other video owners that created e-commerce, we want to do this. No repeat, just forcing, making sure that it doesn't repeat itself. I'm gonna save this for a second, and we are going to add here the widget for the image zoom. Let's put it down here because we want to make sure that it actually affects, because if I put it at the top, sometimes depending on the page, it doesn't, the JavaScript, for example, it doesn't affect the whatever I try to apply to this, because this exists after I executed the code after. So we need to execute the code after this instead of before it. That's why I'm putting it down here. Okay. There we go. Just in case, for the developers, remember that when you're doing the JavaScript, you create the JavaScript, remember that you have this parameter, this attribute here, sorry. So even with this one, sometimes if you call the widget at the top before this gets rendered, JavaScript will give you an error because this does not exist in the document model when the actual JavaScript gets executed, even if you're putting the defer there. So it's just something to take into account. So I'm going to refresh here. So in theory, it looks the same. Everything looks the same, okay? If I right click, you're now going to see that it's div. It's actually the div, okay? instead of the image. And now we can play around with it. Okay, and here's where the fun comes in. So let's put the script here at the top. Let's put a set failsafe there with that. And now we are going to start coding the actual effect. So let's create an image zoom variable here. And, as always, our query selector, we select that image zoom element. Okay, got that baby there. And we are going to, after we've selected that baby, we are going to create an add event listener. Okay, if something happens to this element, do this. We're gonna put for now, we're gonna put mouse move, meaning if the mouse moves on top of the image, somewhere around the image, then this happens. Okay, we're gonna put the event. Well, just put the to handle or manipulate whatever is happening with the event there. And just let's do this. We got image zoom. We got 750 here, so now you're gonna see why I'm taking that into account. Background size. If the mouse moves on top of this, then we're going to zoom in twice. And what's twice? Well, 750, the width here, times 2. And that gives me, I don't know. So we're going to say here, okay. And then, give me a second because I tabbed here. Whoops, sorry. Like that. Yep, okay. Now we got to change also another thing because we want to make sure that when they zoom in, we maintain or at least get close to the position where the mouse is and it zooms in on that particular area of the image. So for that, we need to offset the position of the mouse. And because we're offsetting that versus the position of the mouse, we're going to turn this into a negative. Offset X. And then we just do it like that. And let me see, offset, I said. And then we're going to do the same thing for the background position Y. Okay. And we are done. We are done for the first question. How can we zoom in on that? And I'm going to double check if I'm missing something here. It does not look like I'm missing something. Let's just save this. Actually, oops. I knew there was something weird here because it's an object. Not supposed to be doing this. There it is. Okay. Now, yeah, there's my little baby object. So, all good. Let's save that. And then we go to the image and we're going to refresh. Okay. Maybe I need to tweak this a little bit, but here you can see the effect. Oh my. I can zoom in like that. Okay. Now we have to tackle the typical issues that are going to be showing or appearing because of this. So again, what did I say? I said when I move the mouse inside this element, it zooms in. And because of the 1500 pixels that I put there, that means that I'm zooming in 2x. It's a 2x zoom. But I didn't say anything else, which means if I do this, I get out of the image, stays with the zoom in effect, which is not what people are hoping for, okay? So we need to add another thing here. So right now you see in basically what, 8 lines or something, plus the styling, which you can put inside as an inline on the actual element if you wanted to. But that would create an issue if you want to override it. Okay. Um, so we need to put something that says when it gets out of the image, it zooms out again. Okay. So we could create another block like this, or as one of the many things that you can do with JavaScript, we can add that here on the element. That's why I want to come back here, which I forgot where the thing is. Okay, here it is. So we're gonna add an on mouse out. If it gets out of this element, then do something. What are you gonna do? Put the image as default. Okay, default image. Oh wow, very creative with the names. So on the default image, we're gonna create the function default image because we're calling a function there. We just do what you literally expected the thing to do. So we need to reset all this. All that needs to be reset back to the original one, which is this one. So to reset that, basically to remove the values that it had here before. Remember that we had cover. Here you can see the background size cover. So here we put cover. We don't put any specific sizes. And here we're not offsetting anything. We want to put it like this. Okay? 0 pixels there. We don't want to offset anything. So that means that if I get out of the image, it should, in theory, because of the offset, I mean, we're not offsetting anything. In the position, the default position when an image gets rendered, especially for the background, it is 0x and 0y. Then I should be able to get out of the image and the image goes back to the original one. See? If I come here from the top, if I come here from the bottom, if I come here from the other side, or from here. So this is what a couple of the e-commerce BD owners already have. Great, awesome. But then a couple of days back, somebody asked, how can I control the zoom factor? And then somebody else asked, how can I control when I zoom in? And that was the very good questions, a good challenge there. And that's why I sent the challenge to the developers that are working with other BD owners. So the challenge gets solved by the following two things. Okay, you can pause the video right now. Think about how we can challenge this. I'm gonna give you a hint. It's less than 20 lines of code, and we'll be recycling, reusing this part. So pause. I'll wait 5 seconds. You can pause whenever you want. And bleep. Okay, let's continue. We're going to add the following. We're going to tackle two things. How much they zoom, and leave that to the BD owner, how they want to do it. And when they click, or let's say unclick, they stop clicking, and click and hold in this case. So we're going to add two more type of events, which is on mouse down, which is I'm clicking and holding. We're going to execute this one. And then guess what the other one is called? On mouse up. That's why it's very important for you as a developer to memorize as many events, and also obviously how to use an object in JavaScript as possible. So we got on mouse down, on mouse up, and when it gets out, on mouse out. Okay. I think that would cover, yep, that should cover the ideas that I have here. So first, we're gonna tackle the on mouse up, on mouse down kind of thing. How do we tackle that? It's simple, it's a Boolean value. So we put mouse is down, false. Okay, and then inside here we say, well, if the mouse is down, okay, is down, then then do the zoom effect. If it's not, I'm sorry that I'm very picky about this, but I hate when the editor actually changes my code. I like it when it. We can I can put this here. I can call the function below. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so we're all good. Now we need to trigger or detect in a way if uh, if the mouse is down or not. And because we put those events, remember the events that we put here on mouse down, on mouse up, and it's calling a function mouse down and mouse up. We just make them up. Okay, we create the function mouse down. And if the mouse is down, then we say, yeah, the mouse is down. And mouse is up. They released the button. We say, is the mouse down? No. So let's save this. Let's see in theory how that one behaves. Good question there. Fresh. So see, because we enable the whole clicking effect, it doesn't hover here. But if I click, it does. Only if I click. See? Okay. But hey, Lewis, you haven't answered the other question. What question are you talking about? Oh my God. The zooming in factor. Okay. The zooming in. Some of the e-commerce owners notice that the more that they zoom in, the less exact the zooming process is. So let me explain that. We got 750, and we're gonna zoom in 10 times. So 750 times 10 is this much. Okay. Whoops. This much. So that effect, the more that you zoom in, the bigger or more noticeable is the issue. So if I click here, okay, I'm there. If I get out, let me click here on the lake. Is this the lake? No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay. If I click down here, I'm clicking on the lake down here. Whatever, the Angels Falls part down here. And it's showing like somewhere up here. How do we fix that? Because what if you give the ability to the BD owner to actually control the zooming process, they're gonna have this issue. Again, let's pause for a second as a challenge and think about how can we add or offer the BD owner the ability to zoom in and also make sure that it zooms in a correct manner properly. So pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Earth below us. Yeah, I know. I sing horribly. So for that, we need to first create a variable that offers the zoom factor. Okay. So we're gonna put, let's play two times. Okay. Second, we need to grab the at the moment of creation of the image what the original width is for it. So we're gonna create another one. Original, uh, let's say width, and then we're gonna say image zoom. And remember the properties and stuff that I mentioned. Here's another one. Offset width. Okay, this will give you the basically the container of the image, the original one. original width for it. So now that we have this here, image zoom original width, we are going to play with this. So this 750 that you're seeing here, that's basically static, we're going to change it to a dynamic factor, a dynamic value. So we're going to put here this times the zoom factor plus px, because of the px pixels at the end. We're going to leave it like that for now. Okay, we're going to leave it like that for now because we need to test if this is actually working, with a 2x thing before I add the other two controllers. So I come in, I click, and it visually, because it's only 2x, it looks nice. If I click down here, it's, you would swear, yeah, it's clicking on the correct place. Okay, but now let's escalate the zoom factor to 10. And you're gonna be like, Sensei, I see something weird. I'm gonna click over here. Look what happened. I'm gonna click on the little river there. Look what happened. How do we dynamically control the offset value? We do it by basically multiplying it for the image zoom factor that we're taking into consideration now with the equation at the top. That's all. That's it. Which makes you wonder, as one of the students said, how come there's WordPress plugins that take like, I don't know, 2,000 lines of code and do exactly the same thing? I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know what, maybe they did something additional. So I'm gonna click on the lake. It's almost there. It's almost there. A little offset there. But again, we're talking about 10 times zooms. Okay. So I'm just gonna click here. I'll move it a little bit, and there you go. But I'm very close to it. Because it's decimal things, I won't go into details how to make this more perfect. I'll give you a hint. The offset here, it's actually taking into consideration the padding of the actual content of the image. So for now, we're gonna leave it like that because 10 times zooms is, well, it's a lot. Like you can go over here. If I click, I can actually see there. See that? A bird and a little monkey over there? Wow, if you see that, you have better eyes. Okay, so we got this part in. Okay, what does this code offer the owner of the site, or at least for the e-commerce part? It offers the ability for the owner to control how much zoom they want to do. They can just do this. I mean, I will actually put it up here so they don't have to see the code below. It offers them the ability to control if they want to click the mouse or not. Okay, we can put something like this. Click to zoom. Okay, let's leave it false. Let's leave it false. And I'm gonna show you what that means. If click to zoom, basically if it's true, then we say that mouse is down true. Else, we just leave it like it is right now. What am I creating here? I'm creating the following option for the BD owners, or you as a developer to offer to your BD owners. You do this, you come here, they click, they have that zoom effect, okay? Wow, awesome, blah, blah, blah. Nice, I can see details of the image, okay. And what happens if they say, no, I don't want them to click to zoom, I just want them to hover and zoom. You don't need to code a whole bunch of things. Here you say, true. Actually, I gotta rename this. Hover to zoom. Makes more sense. Hover to zoom. There we go. And when you enable the hover to zoom, it hovers to zoom, literally. Okay, you get this super zoom effect. Okay. By the way, this gray area here is that um, padding area thing that I was talking about, plus the margin and all that. Okay, the border in this case, sorry. So on one line, we were able to create that background image here. And then on, I don't know, less than 50 lines, we were able to create all this. That gives the user the ability to set the zoom factor if they want to hover with to zoom, or if they don't want to, they can just disable this. That's it. They don't have to touch the rest of the code. Obviously, the hover to zoom is disabled and they need to click to zoom. So they click there, they click there, they click down here, like, okay, and you get that nice effect there. So hopefully this will serve and help a lot of people that offer their, let's say, digital products, or they have their own e-commerce affiliate programs, things there on the BD site, and will enhance the experience that your members have there. So with that said, think positive. Big hugs to everyone. Remember about the partnerships on toursoftware.com. Look at the partnership video. There's still a couple slots left, and that's it. Big hugs to all.